It's National Signing Day, February of 2021. And for Bowling Green football, some of the guys that signed back in December have already enrolled at BG and are currently BGSU students ready to go for spring football. At least we sure think they're ready to go for spring football. My name's Todd Walker, the voice of the Falcons, and we have a bunch of our guys on this call to talk about their experiences so far with BGSU. Let's just go through and do an introduction first. Let's start with Drew Gunther. He's a transfer from Syracuse. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, Drew, where you're from, and what happened at Syracuse, how long you were there, and how you ended up at BG.
Drew Gunther. I'm from southeastern Pennsylvania. I was at Syracuse for a year, a redshirt freshman year. And I knew Coach Leffler before in high school recruiting when he was at Boston College. And then so when I entered the transfer portal, he was one of the first people that I talked to. And he was a guy that I had a good relationship with in high school. And so we were able to rekindle and talk some more.
All right, Drew, by the way, for those wondering like me, that's the state of Pennsylvania flag over his left shoulder. You got to like that, representing PA. Let's talk to Diego Neri. He is Bowling Green, hopefully future linebacker is the position we think he's going to be playing. Diego, talk about where you're from and a brief recap on the recruiting and how you decided on BG and to become an early enrollee.
My name's Diego Neri. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. My recruitment process was all over the place because I didn't really get the chance to see a bunch of other schools other than ones close to home, such as Miami, Oxford. I was originally committed to Central Michigan, but Coach Leffler and his staff just wouldn't allow it. They knew BG was the place for me. I came up here in June to take a tour myself. COVID restricting a bunch of stuff, no in-person recruiting, things like that. And then once I actually got the chance to see campus, I was like, yeah, this is the place for me. The coaching staff, everything just fell in line completely, and I decided to make the decision back in July.
Good stuff. Yeah, I remember Coach Leffler said he couldn't take Diego driving past the Doyd on his way to Mount Pleasant. That's not happening. So Diego's a Falcon. Let's talk to jaylenlawson. He's also, from what I'm told, going to play linebacker here at BG, and he signed actually in the previous class and delayed his enrollment. So his recruitment's a bit more involved. Jaylen, tell us where you're from and how that worked and how it's going for you now.
jaylenlawson, Lexington, Kentucky. Yeah, it was a crazy ride with my recruitment here for BG. Senior year, I tore my ACL, MCL, meniscus. And the coaches thought it would be better for my knee to fully get healed and all that before I head up. Coach V came up. He was like one of the last college coaches I talked to, and he was just a great guy. And he was explaining to me how all the guys are great and just we're a family, a brotherhood, and we're young, but to trust the process and that everything will be okay if we trust the process and all that.
So you took a class last semester, as I understand it, but now you're in full go with remote learning this semester, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's talk to Jaison Patterson. He's a running back. Jaison, tell us where you're from and your recruitment to BG, how you made that decision.
I'm Jaison Patterson. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. My recruiting process, it was very long and very well thought out. BG, they came to me fully ready to recruit me, and they was like 100% honest from the jump. So they really had a click from the beginning. So I felt as though BG was the perfect option for me because the coaches, I felt that I already had a connection since day one. So that's really a big choice on why I picked BG.
Great to have you, Jaison. Let's just stay with Jaison and a big recruitment adjustment for guys from the FLA when they come up here. These winter storms and this wind on Bowling Green's campus. I'm sure you were warned, but how are you adjusting?
It's pretty cold. Definitely not used to it yet, but I guess I can warm up to it. I don't know. Yeah, I say it's really cold up here though. Like the
Yeah.
winds are out of control.
So have you asked any of the other guys that are from Florida or the warmer climes if they ever got used to it, and what do they say?
They say they're still not used to it to this day.
Hey, we've been here our whole lives. I'm still not used to it. It's still terrible when it happens. So we can do without that winter storm stuff. Let me bring Drew back in. Drew, being a quarterback, we talked about your time at Syracuse, and now you're coming to Bowling Green. And I guess people would think that Dino's system, which we saw here, of course, firsthand, and Coach Loeffler's system, maybe there's not a lot of carryover between those or similarities. But as you prepare to dive into spring football here, do you feel comfortable that there's enough that you can really take from what you've done before to apply to this new system you're going to be in?
Absolutely. I've been working with Coach Loeffler every day, and he's been coaching me up really well. And so just trying to get better every day and getting used to the system. It is a lot more under center footwork, whereas Syracuse was more shotgun. It was a lot easier from a footwork standpoint. But, Coach Loeffler is just a perfectionist, and I think I am too. And so I think we click well and we work well together.
And when you were in high school, did you play more in one style or the other, or what did you do in high school?
We were a little bit more mixed in Syracuse in high school, but still mostly shotgun.
Well, it's interesting how you talk about the footwork is so important for quarterbacks. I think everybody just thinks about their arm, of course, and their ability to read and make decisions, but the footwork is big as well. Let's talk to a couple of defensive guys here, these linebackers. Diego, when you look at this Bowling Green this Bowling Green defense and the scheme for Coach Van Gorder and where you might fit in, where do you picture yourself fitting in that Bowling Green defense?
Hopefully I can be the leader of the defense just how I was in high school. In high school, I played Mike, and hopefully I can come up here and play Mike. Just be a crazy guy, lead my defense, make the calls, make sure everything clicks on my end, the back end, the defensive front, everything like that. As long as everything falls in line with how Coach V wants me to do things, I'll make sure I keep it on the field just like that and help our starters get some rest. If, let's say, I don't end up starting, hopefully I can help them get some rest for a couple plays. I can go in, just act crazy how I love to play.
Gotcha. Jaylen, you're a linebacker too. Talk about what position you think you could end up in here with BG's defense and sort of your style of play.
Yeah, Coach V, initially he wants me at Mike. I'm not that big Mike linebacker everyone says I am, but I have to gain a few pounds. But I feel like I could definitely get into the play and definitely help the other guys if needed, switch positions if I need to, and just help every way possible I can.
That's good. Jaison, I'll come back to you and talk about BG offensively. I see Jason's on the move right now. When we talk about positions, I don't know if you have the ability to play more than one position or have thought about that, but running back is certainly what we are thinking you're going to be. Talk about how you think this offense could show off your skills.
I feel as though the offense can show off my skills by just getting me the ball in my hands, all around, not only in the backfield, but also in the pass game. I feel as though I can be that person that pushes the offense to the next level, and that it'll take time to do, but I feel as though I can be that person that could change a lot of things around for the offense.
Jaison, what kind of running back are you? Are you a more between the tackles or more of a long ball guy, speed guy? What's your game?
I would say I'm more of balance, but I can do it all. So if I was to get open in open field, it would be very hard to catch me. But I would say.
All right, let me go back to Drew here, because if I'm seeing this right, you're the only one that's been through spring football. You did it at Syracuse. What kind of advice would you give these guys and the other first-year guys that are coming in about spring football and how hard it can be or how you get through it?
Right, I'd say, we're waking up early now, but just keep getting ready to wake up early and really take care of your bodies during spring football, because it gets to be a grind. You're going to be lifting more than you do during the season, and while you're going to be practicing harder than you do during the season as well, with the scrimmage days on Saturdays, which are very similar to the games. And so taking care of your body is a very important aspect during spring football.
Well, also, since you were ACC honor roll selection, I understand your 1 year at Syracuse, you were obviously able to keep up with your studies. Was that a harder adjustment than the football physicality part, or no?
I would say football is a harder adjustment. School, and they did a great job at Syracuse. We took care of the schoolwork and study hall and everything. Same thing here, with the mandatory study halls and everything. They make sure we get our work done and make sure there's no room for error on that end.
Well, National Signing Day, our coverage continues. These guys are already at Bowling Green, early enrollees, and we hope you got a chance to learn a little bit about them, and we hope to see them contributing to MAC championships very soon. Guys, we appreciate you taking time with us. I Ziggy Zumba.